All these previous sections have been sourced by the comments on all these videos that came before my tie-long analysis deep dive video thing, and other ideas I've had afterwards. So for this last section, I wanted to go through some of these more interesting comments and discuss what I haven't already with those response videos that were previously in this very video you're watching now previously. I hope everyone appreciates me trying to be extra transparent and clear, and that it doesn't come across as annoying or anything. Before I start, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for watching and reacting to my videos that I've made. I know the main one has been the Puss in Boots video, but I still appreciate all your responses and feedback to that little video I did, so sincerely, thank you guys. So, to wind down this overall long video, it's time to look at what you guys, the viewers, have to say. Most of these ideas and thoughts have come from you guys anyways, so why not respond to everything I can and haven't already? I like how people shit on Disney in 2022 because The Last Wish did well and then never compared them last year with Ruby Gillman. I also thought this was very strange. When me and my wife, and Timmy, saw this movie, we thought it was so dry and boring. I thought the idea could be cool, but it just didn't deliver. The animation was nice though, but I think most people started paying attention to the whole everything being bad because of it being the franchises we cared about. Because do you really care that Ruby Gillman was mid compared to Kung Fu Panda 4 being mid? Since you have an attachment to the characters, it hurts even more when they flub up the area they used to be good at. Just like with Star vs. Ruby in most Pixar or Disney sequels. I really miss the Paramount era of DreamWorks, and the Universal era is muddy. Universal actually got DreamWorks in 2016, which, under their era, included How to Train Your Dragon's finale, The Bad Guys, and the infinitely praised Puss in Boots The Last Wish. It just really has to do with their changes of production, which was under their leadership, I grant you, but I think could have been any company, especially considering how every other company is doing the similar things of uninspired sequels for only money, with no passion involved even. We live in a world where Lord Shin isn't the most dangerous peacock who DreamWorks. I like this joke, but it feels like one of those jokes that's posted everywhere. Also, that solely deals with Megamind versus the Doom Syndicate, and not any other films that I've made in this discussion. Animation community, but DreamWorks Animation is going to replace Disney Animation. Me after 2024's DreamWorks Content T comes out. Very poor choice of words. The Dark Knight Joker, Dark Knight. It is interesting that everyone talked about them beating Disney, because you know Disney is the movie studio punching bag. But this video took so long to make that Pixar actually had a decent sequel with Inside Out 2. I thought that could never happen after the whole Incredibles 2 fiasco. The whole animation studio comparison war thing feels like it's kind of over by this point now, because every company has the exact same problem plaguing them. We just have to hope that the tides change for the better, brosos. Maybe I don't want a Captain Underpants sequel anymore. That's a big sentiment I've seen going around the comments. They're like, man, I wanted a sequel to something I like, but now that it's likely going to be bad, darn it, I don't want it anymore. I don't know why that's my tone for some of the comments, but just roll with me here. But that's really understandable. The reason I wanted to put a full warning about how severe this can be is because I'm also worried about these great franchises. But you shouldn't not want something to release because of it, in my opinion. Because it's always possible for a movie to be good from a bad company, or at least okay. I'm not trying to be a downer doomer video essay person. I just want everyone to have realistic expectations. I hope movies will be good, but I've been heard enough to know that it's just likely not going to happen for most of them. I'm worried about Shrek 5. The fourth movie was the perfect ending to the franchise. Also, they better not make Madagascar 4. It does not need a fourth movie. Other than Penguins of Madagascar spinoff, the closest thing they could do is make a King Julian spinoff. I like how this started with Shrek, then just got taken over by the Madagascar. But they just are going to make a new Madagascar. They are going to make sequels to everything that can make $1 bills. At least if the company keeps going this Disney Pixar illumination way of things. Megamind 2 looks like an in-game cutscene from Sonic 06. It's laughable. Oh my gosh, it really does. Actually, you know, that's a disservice to Sonic, honestly. That shit at least can compose some shots well. Not to mention some randomly beautiful scenes that all the budget went into. Good thing my brother never knew about the Megamind sequel. Well, I'm glad too, I guess. What the fuck does that mean? What would he have done? Are you okay? Did he figure it out? Are you safe? I like that someone gave the bad guy some credit. That movie is so awesome. Yeah, honestly, it's weird that nobody talks about it too much. I guess it doesn't have the impact that their other films have, But it wasn't bad, you know, despite the name, those guys were pretty decent. Well, for context, the studio, you know, the animators and everything, that made everyone beloved childhood films like OG Shrek and Megamind no longer exist. This is due to DreamWorks shutting down those studios around the time of Captain Underpants, the first epic movie. Now they fired and let go of all their animators. I don't know how true that is, but that's pretty close to what I said about the Wild Robot being their last in-house and the whole morale thing. And of course, the layoffs that they've done as well. But people are mistaken sometimes to think that the people that once made an amazing movie can make it again. I have to figure out that the writers of the Batman the Animated Series and the Arkham games also wrote the Killing Joke movie that has an intimate scene between Batgirl and Batman, and just a load of flubs when it came to Arkham Knight, when it comes to writing characters and such. I've learned this the hard way. Don't trust a creator just because they made something good in the past. Heed my warning, dear viewers. Heed it! DreamWorks made the movie too good, so they fired all their animators, writers, and now we're stuck with the shit ones. It's definitely a much more funny way to put it than the last one. But it is interesting to see how many people pick different movies and reasons to be why they fired everybody. No further comment really, just really interesting observation. Love you. You know they're making a live action How to Train Your Dragon, right? This is actually the exact comment that I saw to inspire that section. It made me realize that it was much more real than I originally thought. The past was rough, but if y'all think DreamWorks' future is bad, then look at their next 3 films. You a time traveler, bro? That's like looking at the MCU revealing their next slate of movies and be like, dang, they think they're falling off? These movies have sick titles. And they're sequels to good films? Ain't no way they can be bad. Sorry if that was mean, but that's just why I made the Wild Robot Won't Save video in the first place. Talk about why a common sentiment doesn't make much sense. Let's all cross our fingers that the Wild Robot would turn out to be the best animated film of 2024. And you know what? I hope it does. I know I made a whole video about how it won't save DreamWorks and then that whole depressing section about it being their last movie, but I hope it's just an incredible movie to be their send-off. I still think The Last Wish would have been a perfect send-off, but let's do a group prayer that every movie will be good forever and always. Amen. They first released an amazing movie that's a sequel to a mid-movie, then follow up with crappy sequels to great films. It's ridiculous. I love this comment because it just recaps the whole Puss in Boots was accidentally amazing video in literally one sentence. Like, my biggest video I've released reduced into one sentence with the "it's ridiculous" at the end to recap my whole mood towards it too. Thank you for being so kind. Help me and these to better understand you. Amen. Glad you're taking my praying to heart, brother. Amen. I'm not even that religious. It's just funny to pray over a company to make better movies. I miss the 2019 logo. Why'd they replace it with a character intro? They could have just made it for one movie, and yeah. First off, I love that this comment has every first letter be capitalized like a YouTube title. That's some shit I used to do. Second off, this may have inspired the DreamWorks logo section. It's either that or because Treyflus talked about it as well as the topic of one of their videos. Third of all, that's what I'm saying. Well, that sucks for us. True. I spent a lot of money to get Kung Fu Panda plushies. That's okay. Their previous movies were still good, and the character designs in the new one isn't terrible like Megamind's everything. It's not like you can't associate with Poe's merch anymore because he's canceled or something. Hi, I love the B movie. It's just a massive troll film and I respect the fuck out of it. I do enjoy B movie. It's just not a good movie though. Also, I don't think it's a troll film. I think it's just a bad comedy that comes back around to being ironically and meme funny. If you want a troll film, there's Trolls 2 World Tour, which I'm never going to watch. Stop asking me. DreamWorks is very inconsistent and I don't mind that. Good for you, guy, I guess. Why are you here? I agree with most things said here, but a few points. The Last Wish was not accidentally good. There was obviously much passion put into it, so much love from the creators to the point that it really shows. To call a success an accident is really undermining it, and in my opinion takes away from your point I think you're trying to make. That's very true. I meant accidentally with how the company couldn't reclaim a single bit of how good that movie was in their next products. But I did definitely title it that even more because of clickbait reasons. But it wasn't only because of that, and I hope that counts for something. People believe Puss in Boots: The Last Wish was the beginning of the golden era for DreamWorks, but they were just lucky. That's a really big point too, and why their next films were even more disappointing, because everyone believed that a new golden era was upon us, and that DreamWorks will be the golden god of this new era of cinema within animation. Which, to be fair, they did allude to that at the end of The Last Wish, with how they were like, we're going to make a new Shrek, and it's going to be as good as the movie you just watched, whole thing. Which I hope it honestly does. I've said before, I love watching the Shrek company that makes no over the movies but Shrek. And I wasn't fibbing at all. If the only franchise they give that kind of attention was Shrek, I'll be a happy camper. Don't get me wrong, I'll still be disappointed they don't do it with anything else, but your boy's just not gonna watch them. Unless it's for epic YouTube content views, money, merch, content algorithm, viewer retention, buzzword. Last Wish was the best put together movie they've released in the history of their films. Meanwhile listening. Okay, yes. The Last Wish was an absolutely top S tier film. Yes, no argument with that. But be for real a second. You can tell me that when this is a studio that created a masterpiece like Prince of Egypt. Seriously, this is one of their criminally underrated films ever made. Also, Ramses is a better villain than the Wolf/Death. I'm sorry, I don't care what anyone says. Death/the Wolf, Tai Lung, and Lord Shin are chilling, but there are no matching compressants. There are no matching compressants to Ramses as a character. Ramses is the best animated villain to date in general, not just in DreamWorks. I actually respond to this person through my own comments, and they talk about how they get annoyed that no one talks about the movie when talking about DreamWorks. But like, come on man, give a break. We all know this company truly started with what their films are with Shrek. 3D animated comedy films that have some heart to them. Prince of Egypt is not that, brother. I'm sorry. Also, sorry for calling you brother. It's not a gender thing. It's a pal buddy thing, term thing. Like, it's not comparable at all to anything else. Honestly, it's such a distinction I can't really pull another example out because it's that crazy of a difference. I guess it's like how Hellfire is the best Disney villain song, and that's because there's no comparison to how iconic and serious and just cemented statue to being incredible it is compared to its competition. Is it bad that I say the first Puss in Boots movie is way better than the second? Yes! How dare you say Troll 3 was bad? It was actually pretty good, IMO. I didn't see it and never will! To be fair, I like Kung Fu Panda 4. Not as much as the original trilogy, but it's pretty Disney girl in my opinion. That's what I thought at first until I had a breakdown about Tai Lung or something. I don't know when you said girl though. Like, what did that autocorrect from in this context? Unless you mean... Oh god. I just watched Kung Fu Panda 4 and it's one of my new favorite movies. Burn! Now for the wild robot comments. I hope there's nothing crazy in here. How the fuck is Illumination having a better current run than DreamWorks? That was pretty true. They had the Mario movie, which was better than mid. Minions: The Rise of Gru, which was also pretty talked about and huge, while also being a better movie than other Minions things. And I think people said Migration was like, okay. I did say was though, because of how Despicable Me 4 was very messy and boring. And I mean like worse than usual type boring. What makes it worse is that the Wild Robot is being rushed with 3 to 5 weeks left of animating after the trailer's released. You heard it here first because I didn't hear from anywhere but a comment, so take it with a grain of salt. But if true, that sucks actually. Okay, I looked it up and I see people are talking about even with that exact 3 to 5 weeks number margin. Here's a quote from a Reddit post. On top of layoffs happening at DreamWorks right now, the upper-ups now want them to rush finishing production of the Wild Robot because of the unanimously positive reception to the trailer. Which makes sense from a company perspective since they're always actually stupid like that for no reason. They're like, oh, people like that concept trailer, let's rush it for fast money. So if true, then the future is even worse because even good ideas might be rushed like crazy. Like, bro, why? If people like the trailer, just pay for another ad campaign once it's finished. Like, if I didn't make this video, I wouldn't even remember the name of this movie because of that trailer. And I love DreamWorks and pay attention to animation. What stupids am I right? I love how pessimistic people have become over DreamWorks being saved. I have already accepted DreamWorks as a lost cause, and quite frankly, I'm glad people think the same thing. We need more pessimistic people telling others that everything is a lost cause because you can't save those who don't want to be saved. That's a lot more pessimistic than I've been trying to be, but yeah, after all the company side information I've learned making these videos, there's just no way they can quote-unquote be saved. Is that Vince saying I'm holding hope? But this company side stuff always makes me be like, bro, do you not want money? Like, why is everyone focused on getting money so fast when you have franchises specifically for that? Just run Trolls, Boss Baby, and franchises like that into the ground to make money for artistic stuff. And or do a Megamind and do TV shows for money as well. Like, we hate that they use Megamind that way, but if it was used to make money for an actually well-made Megamind 2, we wouldn't be that mad, you know? Nothing is 100%. There's always a splitting path to take, a gamble to make. DreamWorks represents that well. It is a studio completely different from Pixar, Walt Disney, Illumination, Netflix, and Paramount Pictures. Understand that being skeptical of a movie's success is either saying it is because I think it is. DreamWorks can always make another Trolls movie just for money, just like Illumination. But knowing what is said, a studio which will subvert expectations. This is a lot of what I've been saying and why I have hope that they can, but there's also being realistic about things. This person may not know all the company side of stuff, but we do now. The odds are still not 100%, but there's just too many signs to start believing in fairy tales. DreamWorks is going to start outsourcing to third-party studios after 2024 to reduce production costs while maintaining quality. And Wild Robot will be DreamWorks' final film made in-house. And this is actually the comment that let me know about this. I made that entire section because of this one comment. That's the reason I know how bad shit is, actually. So thank you for adding an important piece to this conversation. And to all of you that have commented, this legitimately wouldn't have happened without all you guys. If I didn't feel people undermine some ideas, or that the Puss in Boots video didn't do good, or if viewers didn't care and didn't comment with their own thoughts or ideas, none of this would have happened. Thank you. Unpopular opinion, I thoroughly enjoyed Lightyear. I did not care for or about the terrible gay stuff. I did not care about scientific accuracy. I did not much care that they made Buzz the stick in the mud that he is. I think Lightyear did alright. It wasn't great. I understand why people don't like it, but I do. You are wrong! Bro, did I just hear a swear word? Fuck you! So, I hope you guys enjoyed this deep dive into the DreamWorks Problem. And remember, even though times can be dark, there's always some light, even if you gotta make it for yourself. Bye. Whoa, did I just hear a swear word? Fuck you! You are wrong! Burn! Yes! I did not see it and I never will!